So it's easy to just go in a house, especially when it's cold. But it looks like there was probably a fire or something that has warped this, that, or moisture damage. Ooh, yeah, it looks worse from this side. I wonder if that's how they're supposed to get the crawl space. Love the backyard. Opportunity here. They've also got all this over here, which looks like it was for dogs or, I don't know, tigers. That fence is way taller than me. Need to get all this stuff off the side of the house. That gutter's falling apart. They're asking way too much for this. Sorry if my phone's shaky. It's because I'm shaking. That window's busted. No wonder this has to go cash, because goodness gracious. Yeah, this is either a complete tear down or a complete remodel. My people were pretty certain they still wanted it, but okay, well that's the garage. Okay, well that makes me feel a touch better. Golly, I'm shaking. Sorry, anyone watching this. I do not do well in the cold. Okay, well these are new. And that gutter's acceptable, coming from a real estate agent and not a gutter professional. Yes, I just said gutter professional. Come at me. I don't always walk around the house, but when I do, I find interesting stuff usually. And they didn't even shut the house up. And it's left open. That's super comforting. Woo! Okay, I literally fell from halfway over there. All this is ice. The things we do when we're showing property. All that being said, you want to see something really funny? That door is left wide open. There's a lockbox up here, and I guarantee you this door is locked. Watch. Yep. Little do they know, the back door is wide open. I repeat, wide open. And all of that is ice. Especially for something like this, I would normally wait for my clients to be here, but since they're going to pull in the driveway any moment, and I was in the driveway when I watched folks leave, we'll go ahead and take a little gander. I like trying not to trip. Oh my goodness, the opportunity here is so much fun. Oh my gosh, I have, as rough as it looks, this could be such a cool house. I know they said that there's repairs needed and it's being sold as is, but if you have the money to put into something like this, oh, yep, see, I knew there was going to be something with flooring, because I asked the listing agent. Here, let me make that a little easier to look at. Ooh, yeah, that's a straight dip in the floor. These are interesting little cubby closets. Oh my goodness, it goes all the way through. Fascinating. Let's see, this is the front door that was locked, laughably. So if we turn, this is what you're welcomed into. I would completely redo the kitchen. I would get rid of this countertop and that cabinet. I would definitely make the kitchen bigger. If there was an opportunity to raise the ceiling, I would. I kind of want to go back here first. That floor is uneven. I kind of like the big window. As funky as it is, I kind of like it. This is one of the bathrooms. I'm always like scared when I'm in here without clients. If it's something like this, because it's just open. So do as I say and not as I do, and don't go into a house before your clients get here. But we got the video going and they're probably in the driveway, but it'll take them a minute to get here. This is cute. You see, they've done some work. This is what I wanted to see because it looked funky on MLS. So that was a door. From what I can see, an exterior door. So I wonder what the process was. This is like a lipstick type cover up for something that needs to obviously be replaced. That's really interesting that that's raised. It certainly needs a lot of work. I always like seeing opportunity spots in this home. Has a lot of room for opportunity for the person that has the funds. I do think it's overpriced. They've already reduced the price a couple of times. I glanced at comps before I came, but, and I can see how they got there. They got there with the comps because of the acreage. It's on 3 acres. And right now it's hard to find anything with land for like under 500 in this area. And of course there's plenty of variables in that, but, this is definitely a fixer-upper. It's definitely overpriced. I think the new price is $230 something. I'll pull it up before they get here so I can quote it directly. But I don't think the house is certainly not worth that. The land has good value. I confirmed it's not the home is not in a flood zone. The whole property isn't necessarily in a flood zone. But the front driveway has a very impressive wide culvert. So that's what made me think to go ahead and check that out. The driveway at the very front entrance is in a flood zone, which is what I thought when I saw that very well done culvert. And then also seeing what's being sold in the area that are similar properties, which is what we call comps, which I'm sure if you've been around here a while, you know that term by now. But the opportunity here is great. I love this middle space. That's my favorite thing about it is all this room. A lot of opportunity, and I love the privacy looking out the back. That's still this person's property, whoever owns it. It goes back kind of in a rectangle that narrows at the top. If you have big money to not just put it into this home, something I talked to the listing agent about would be because it has access to city water and sewer. You could potentially build other properties on this. Like you could do, he said 3. I think 3's pushing it, but you could long-term build a second property up there and have 2 on here that you could either have for family members or to even be 2 rentals, only because the area that we're in would also serve as good rental opportunity space. So this is another thing. One of the things that I tell my folks, dear gracious, I'm shaking, I'm so sorry, is the importance of having the same kind of bulbs in a listing. Now this one's obviously going to be a lower price point for a property, so it's a little different, but I don't want you to have to like look right at it, but that's kind of a newer bulb, but it's a completely different wattage. And then this one's a completely different shape and wattage as well. So that's just something whenever you're looking at beautifying your listing before going on the market and taking pictures, something to consider, because it's just one more touch that makes it look like there was just that much extra put into it. Okay, it stinks over here, like mold level stink. I just walked a couple, yep, that's possibly it. And then also those gutters, let me see if I can zoom. They've got stuff just straight up growing out of it. And then I already walked around back, and what's growing on the house is significantly worse in the back. So these are all things to consider when you're looking at a home. It looks like they've already trimmed this tree to get it away from the house. I love trees, but that tree will grow branches to touch the house again. So that might be a candidate for a tear down in the future for that reason. It sure is a pretty evergreen, isn't it?